Hello, and welcome to the Casino Tears podcast. I'm one of your hosts, 10 Ton is number one, and joining me as my co-host is the one and only Ed Robinson from Roll to Win Craps. If you want more info on our show, please visit our page at casinotears.com. On this week's show, we discussed Biloxi, the finale of opening weekend, hitting the ATS at the IP, a monster roll at the Hard Rock. We also touch on private tables, entertainment in Biloxi, passing the dice, Frampton still alive, and how Ed dresses for success.
You know what's really the great thing about Biloxi?
Tell me.
Like you said, it's laid back. It's casual. It's a very, very comfortable place to be. You don't have any fear of this or that out on the sidewalk or the street. Okay.
Do the casinos have like big shows, big entertainers coming?
The IP does. The Hard Rock obviously does. And so does Beau Rivage.
Is it like the oldies like Barry Manilow? Yeah. Oh my God, Ed, like Barry Manilow. My sister is coming into town in a week and she's excited about going to see Barry Manilow.
I wonder if his nose is still as big as it used to be.
I don't know. I mean, isn't that stuff supposed to get bigger when you get older?
If his nose is bigger, they'll have to change the key in which he sings his song.
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna get her tickets there. Got a host where he's playing, so hopefully I can hook her up.
They'll have. I mean, they don't get the most. I mean, like, Taylor Swift's not going to show up, right? But they have a lot of the older Sticks will show up.
Oh yeah, all the oldies, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, and then they'll have some fairly popular, like country and western people show up over to Beau Rivage and things.
Yeah, did you like Sticks?
I love Sticks. In fact, I just burned a CD for Sticks today on my thumb drive to ride around.
I can't remember,
Babe.
Well, I can't really even remember any Styx songs. I mean, Mr. Roboto, right?
Babe. Yeah, Mr. Roboto.
Oh yeah, Babe. That is a good song.
It is a good song. I also liked Kansas.
Dude, Kansas was a band. What about Boston, though?
I liked Boston, had a lot of their albums. But what was my favorite Kansas song?
Listen, Dust in the Wind, I'm going to go with, but probably isn't Dust in the Wind, but Dust in the Wind is an amazing song.
It is an amazing song, but it was not my favorite.
What is it?
Hair of the Dog.
Hair of the Dog. Nice. Yeah, figures. I would have guessed that on multiple choice.
Hair of the Dog, baby. I used to boombox that thing out to everybody. I mean, I sent you a picture last fall. Who did I send you a picture of?
Was it Creed?
No, that was up in Tunica.
Oh, Creed played Tunica. I didn't think they'd play Tunica.
Who was the blonde-headed guy I sent you the picture of? Oh, it was Peter Frampton.
Frampton comes alive, dude.
He did. Still alive.
Frampton is still alive.
Frampton was sitting out there. They pulled his big old bus in out there on the dock almost out behind there. And he's sitting out there in a lounge chair with two or three other guys, and they got a cooler. They're just sitting out there chit-chatting, waiting on the show to start.
Oh my God, dude. Frampton comes alive. When was that? That was in the 70s? Was that in the 70s that record came out?
Yeah.
So Ed, okay, this is a random. Did I send you this picture? Dude, I went to this when I was in Vegas. I got invited to this like entrepreneur millionaire.
That's where you belong.
This meetup thing, right? And it was a dinner.
Yeah.
And one of my friends put it on. Like he was one of the few people that put it on. Cool dude. His name's Hustler, actually. It was in Conor McGregor's house that he lived in Henderson when he was living here in Vegas. So you walk in the place. I mean, it's pretty big. There was like a fucking, I don't know, Lamborghini just sitting there right by the pool or something like that. It's funny. It was just like, there it is. There's this Lamborghini, kitchen Lamborghini pool. So it was owned. I think the owner of the house is the guy that invented Monster Cable or had all the patents for Monster Cable, the instrument. Anyway, funny because I was in the hallway and then there was this huge picture of Frampton with like, like a gold record of the Frampton Comes Alive or something like that. It was funny. I took a picture of it because it was just, it cracked me up though. It's a good record.
So then Sunday morning, kind of wanted to go to Harrah's, which I never did get there. And I said, well, we're going to go by the IP And I know we like those tables. Plus, they've got the bonus bet. And
The IP is owned by what parent company is the
that's
IP?
a Boyd property.
Interesting, because the IP here is not a Boyd property, correct? In Vegas.
It used to be called the Imperial Palace. Boyd bought the property and just changed the name to the IP.
Almost deceptive advertising, isn't it?
So we go in and it's like 3 or 4 guys on the table. There was a seasoned player, I would call him, at stick left one. So I bought in next to him and we tiptoe in real lightly. I asked the man next to me, I said, how's the table going? How's it been? And he said, well, it's been really kind of choppy, kind of not a good table, but he says it's starting to turn a little bit to the positive side. And I went, well, we're going to heat this sucker up then. And so I had a decent little toss, and then the guy in the turn that was or in the hook that was a local guy standing, he was in between me and Gargoyle. We bonus bet on him because we knew that he knew the table. We knew that he was a local and he was there in his spot. We asked him, is that where you always shoot from? He said, yes. So we went on the bonus with him.
Was that a gut decision? I mean,
yes. Yeah.
Were you betting the bonus on anyone else?
No. Well, on ourselves. Yes.
Okay. That's a good point. You don't necessarily bet the bonus on other people, on other shooters.
Not always.
Do you consider that wasted money or just a wasted bet? You're only going to bet that on someone like qualified, like yourself.
I want it on somebody. I've got confidence in, or I've got some weird superstition about.
Nice. I like that weird superstition about.
I mean, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So this guy, we talked to him. I said, okay, I'll risk $15.
Sure.
555 on the bonus. Gargoyle went in $75 on the guy.
That's a nice play.
He knocked out the 8, 9, 10, and 11 really, really quick. He probably hit 3 points in that process.
Wow.
But he knocked out, and he had a 5, an 8, 9, 10, and 11. He ended up hitting the small side first.
Wow.
Yeah. 4 was the last number he needed on the small, and he hit the 4.
Easy way? Or do you remember if it was an easy or hard way?
It was I think it was an easy 4, 3-1. And we turned our bets off.
But that hit the small. That 4 hit the small.
He hit the small. He threw a lot more. The point was still 4. And then he finally hit the 12.
Oh, nice.
12 was the last number he needed.
Usually the 12 it's either the aces or 12 is the last number usually. So when he hit the small, you made $150.
Yeah, plus my bet.
And he made $750, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, $750 on a $25 bet, 30-1, $750. Sweet. All right. So that's one of the most exciting times. I'm so jealous. You guys you're just staring up, looking at that 12. Because that 12 comes in.
I mean, we were betting and this guy's hand was going on long enough that we were pressing way on up on this guy.
What do you have your bets up to at the high point?
Probably $420 on a 6 and 8.
Oh, nice. Yeah, those are getting up there.
And you're starting at 18, so that's a pretty good climb.
That is an epic climb.
But he hit the 12 and the point was still 4. So we get the big payout. They stop and they pay you out.
What do you make? Because you had 15. So your total payout on that was what?
Well, you get 600 for the tall and the small, and 750 for the all. So 750 plus 600, 1350 plus your bets. Gargoyle got paid a little over $4,000.
No, he made 5,000. I think it's $5,250 if he had 25, 25, 25.
Yeah, you would know.
Because that's exactly how I bet that, except I bet another 25 on the all so that you're clearing 9,000.
Yeah, you're trying to make a big hit.
Epic.
We turned our bets off.
Why?
And we all hop. Why?
Yeah.
Well, it's a draining event on the table for everybody to get paid off, right?
Yeah.
It can change the momentum. It can cool the shooter down, as we say. It's an energy draining event.
Yeah, cool them down, man. That's like calling a timeout, right?
Yeah.
Calling a timeout for the kicker, icing them.
Yeah. So we turned our bets off
Okay.
and we all hopped the point,
Nice.
and he threw the point the next toss.
Now that is pro.
Now that's a 15-1 payout.
That is pro. And that point was 4. So you hopped a 4, correct?
Yes.
Explain hop.
It's a one roll bet. It's a one roll bet. And if you throw it what we call the easy way, which on the 4 would be either a 3-1 or a 1-3.
Mhm.
That's the easy way.
Easy.
Yeah, a 4 easy or whatever. That pays 15-1. But since it was an even number and you can throw it as a 2-2, we also bet that.
Hard way.
That pays 30-1.
Yeah.
But it's a one roll bet. Gargoyle bet it $50. I bet it for 10.
Wow. What instincts? See, those are some serious instincts.
Yeah.
I'm betting and hitting a one roller like that.
5 people followed us on the table with that bet.
Oh my God. I wish I was there. I wish I was there.
Even the
man.
shooter followed us on that bet. He turned his bets off and hopped a 4.
And that was a lucky local, right? That was a local guy.
Yeah.
You get his name?
He didn't have a handle.
You should have gave him one after that.
He's the IP shooter.
You are hereby dubbed like a knight.
Yeah, so we could have given him a craps hood.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That craps hood handle.
Yeah.
So he finally 7'd out. Several throws after that. We just colored up right then. Yeah. So there was good money made there.
It's an important point, though. You guys, I've been with players that after a big run like that, even though it was a short time, they still want to play.
Well, Gargoyle showed his discipline. If it had been me to the guys left, I'd have thrown.
Give me the dice, right?
I would have thrown. I would have thrown and then colored up.
Yeah.
Short roll, long roll, whatever. I would have colored up, but I would have had to try.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah.
But Gargoyle showed his discipline and went, I'm not shooting. I'm not going to follow that. And of course, he had a lot of money in his pocket.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of nice. You can walk away with a lot of money. You are not intimidated by, let's say, someone has like a massive roll before you. You're just like,
I love to shoot behind a long shot.
Ed,
I love it. I would rather shoot. I would rather follow a guy. In fact, I told them, I said, I'd rather shoot after him than shoot after somebody who just threw it twice. Because I got money in the rack.
But there's a lot of people, though, that are afraid to go after someone that just has like a massive roll like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a thing, just so you know. It's tough to follow that up. I expect nothing less.
A lot of people will just pass the dice until some brave soul finally takes them.
I like that you're just like, give me the dice.
Oh yeah. I want to see if I can beat it.
Hold my bourbon.
Hold my bourbon. Let me shoot, brother. Hold my bourbon.
Oh yeah. And I love that.
But we colored up.
Where'd you take your winnings?
We went to that place where you take your craps and they give you money for them.
Nice, the cage.
It's like going to the trading post back in the 1860s.
Yeah, hand it in your belts. Dude, were you still have on, what was the outfit now? Did you have the camo vest? Did you have the Elmer Fudd hat on? What was
Elmer Fudd?
Did you have
I have no Elmer Fudd hat. I have no Elmer Fudd hat. And I'm really weird about what I wear at a casino. You'll find this out someday.
Yeah, talk to me. I
wear the same style pants and the same style shirt every trip, every day.
Hey man.
The same ones I practice in.
Yeah, what's that? I've heard the expression.
Practice like you play like you practice.
Ed.
So I practice in the same shoes that I'm going to play in. I practice in the same style of pants and shirt that I'm going to play in every time. You're not going to catch me in a t-shirt. You're not going to catch me in a pair of blue jeans. I need pants with zippers and pockets and shirts with pockets because I'm going to take some money home and I got to have different places to put them.
You are prepared. You are prepared.
You better believe. Well, I mean, if you're going to go hunting, you got to have a place to store.
You're dressing for success. You are dressing for success.
That's it. That's it. The old dress for success.
But that's good, man. You are like, you're going there to win.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
I expect to win. I don't always win. Don't get me wrong. Everybody loses. But it's like I told you before, I don't go to roll to lose. I go to roll to win.
Yeah. That's what I like about you, man.
I mean,
genius in those taglines of yours.
So that was Sunday, right?
Sunday
morning. And so then we had a private table lined up to start at 4 o'clock.
God, that was a Sunday morning. I can't imagine getting a Sunday morning going like that. I would be so happy.
Well, that was after we had already exchanged the car. So it was maybe midday Sunday.
Still, dude, that's like morning.
But it was our first playing session of the day.
I mean, I don't even know if I'd even play after that. That's amazing.
But we had a private table at the Hard Rock lined up to start at 4 p.m. Sunday afternoon.
Okay, what explain the private table?
Well, it's a reserved, they had reserved signs on it, so the general public couldn't get on it. And only the people that we had told them would be on it could get on it. The host was there. She checked everybody's cards, made sure that those people were on her list. And we had a couple of fillers, just people to come in and bet. We'd had a long meeting right before, kind of explaining what we expected everybody to do at the table.
Oh, what was that meeting like? What's a meeting like that about? Like basically like, listen, don't.
Well, are you there to shoot? Or are you there to win? That's the first question. Right. And if you're there to shoot, tell us so we won't bet on you.
Mhm.
Because
Wow,
we're there
that's
to
like
win.
it's not, that's like a trick question.
Yeah.
Are you here to
Yeah.
shoot, kid?
Yeah. Are you here to win money? So, if you're out of position, if you're not in a position you're comfortable in, there's no shame in passing the dice. We want you to pass the dice to the shooters. And then we had a 3 strikes and you're out if you're a shooter. If you don't have a good roll in three times, then you should let somebody who might have a better run take your position.
I impose the 3
Mhm.
strike and you're out rule on myself whenever I shoot.
We started out ugly, nasty. It was ugly. I mean, I'm not hiding anything here. I mean, this was ugly. The first 4 shooters, and I was the 4th one,
Mm-hmm.
we had 9 rolls between us.
Well, that's a pretty solid average. What it's like two point something.
There was one box number hit and
Yeah.
3 PSOs.
Damn.
And I PSO'd.
PSO 0.7 out. 0.7 out.
Yeah. We told them at that meeting, do not bet on anybody heavy early, regardless of how good they tossed at the school, what their reputation is. It takes a little while for everybody to get in the flow of the game and be ready to throw.
Yeah, that's sometimes people just jump into it and they go a little too gung ho.
Yeah. So we're playing, but you're still you're losing money on every player the first 4. So you're in a hole. Finally, guy number 5 had a few rolls and it started heating up. And then they passed the dice all the way back around. So we played 2.5 hours in that session.
That's a long session.
Yeah. And most of the guys, not including me, were back to even or up.
Yeah, just because of a horrible beginning.
Yeah. 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 The first round was terrible.
It's amazing, Ed, how quickly you can spend the rest of a session just trying to dig yourself out. And that's why I still think.
Well, that's what I was doing. I was going on guys that I knew and I knew well, and I could tell that they were starting to toss better. I was going 440 inside.
That's a lot for you, from what I know.
That's a tremendous amount for me. One hit and down to 110 inside.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I was doing everything I could do to kind of get my bankroll back to where it started,
That's some high variance play, right?
Yeah, and it worked to a point. I mean, I had dug myself out of a big hole, and whenever we were starving by 7 o'clock. I mean, dude, I was hungry. Everybody was hungry, and the guy on stick right, he threw and then he colored up because he was up and he was ready to go eat.
Right.
And I looked around and everybody was coloring up.
Yep.
I was not.
Nice, Ed. You're there for the long haul. Like Caddyshack, dude. You are just stubborn.
And the guy to my left was not coloring up.
Nice. Okay. Someone's in the foxhole with you.
I just stood there leaning on the rail and
Yep.
you're letting about 8 people color up, which
Yeah.
takes quite a little while. And
Getting a little breather in.
then they're all gone to the restaurant.
Okay. See you later.
And it's like an empty table. It's
Yep.
like being at home.
Okay. Nice. In the zone.
You're at home. It's just like being at home, except they actually hand you the dice instead of having to go get them yourself. So,
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
um,
Service.
yeah, I said, I was I was mad.
How down were you? Were you down a lot at that point, or you were?
I was down about $900.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah. No wonder why you're staying there. Okay.
Well, I mean, I wasn't gonna lose it all, but I felt
No.
like I could probably win it back on myself.
All right. So everyone splits.
Yeah.
You're there with one dude
Yep.
in the foxhole with you,
Yep. Just me and him.
hungry,
Shells going off.
hungry.
We're hiding. We're hiding because the Craps have launched a counterattack upon us.
Yeah, dude. They're not biting.
mean-
They're not biting at all.
Yeah, they're not biting, and some of them are flying. They got like flying craps.
Yeah.
But I got since I was there, basically, like I said, it's just like practice. You're there. It's like being at home on my table, and I got dialed in pretty good, and I was starting to make my money back. And
Yeah.
then I made an error in my toss, which was totally my fault.
Mm-hmm. Happens.
And I threw too deep. I threw too deep into near the wall,
Yep.
and it sevened out.
Okay.
But I didn't fret. Didn't worry about it. I was like, I know exactly why I did that. I know why that 7 came. It was my fault. I've said that on earlier podcasts. So I let him toss. He tossed a few minutes. I made small bets.
Chipping back up.
And then
Were you chipping back up, right? Little by little?
yeah, I was back. I was coming closer to even.
Okay. Nice.
And then I got dialed in really nice. 220 inside, was standing down there. He'd already gone to the cage and cashed out his chips. But he was watching me toss, and he was like almost ready to buy back in.
Nice. Just checking it out. He's scouting again.
He was like,
Yeah.
he was fighting himself. He was fighting against himself to buy back in. And I had this really, really long roll, probably 30 something, maybe 40 rolls.
Oh my God. Let me ask you though, did 220 inside buy in, or did he just
No, he's too
watch it?
disciplined. He
Oh,
is
man.
too disciplined.
That's happened though. Sometimes when you see it from the outside, you're like, oh man, should I buy him? Am I going to witness a 30 roller?
Yeah. And so I had a really good roll, and I had been keeping a tally in my rack of where I was. I colored up. And so I went from 900 down to 900 up. So it was an $1,800 swing.
Yeah, that must be satisfying leaving that table.
Oh, I was, as far as I was concerned, I was done. I colored up 220 inside, myself and Rock. We went to dinner.
Nice. You know what? We didn't really talk about, by the way, all right, you mentioned Rock, but we mentioned in that last podcast, Ed, I counted 23 handles. We got so many more to go. Rock, where'd he get that name from? Is he built like a rock?
Well, he is. He really is. He is a sculpted kind of a guy.
Okay, so he's
got big guns on him, big chest.
dude, yeah.
But Rock comes from part of his name.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's Rock something.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
And not Rockefeller, but Rock something.
yeah, there's not a lot of names with rock in it though.
So
but Rock is pretty solid.
yeah, so he goes by Rock. So we had dinner, had nice steak, seafood. I mean, we were just, as far as I was concerned, I was totally 100% done for the night.
Yeah. Famous last words, right?
Well, we left the restaurant, and we went to get us a bourbon at the bar.
Well deserved.
Yeah. Had a nice bourbon. So we got 2 of those. Me and 220 inside. We sat down, and of course by then it's like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, still early. Still
Well,
early.
but we've been playing pretty hard. I mean, that was
Yeah.
that private table was intense. And, so I said, well, I think I'm done, but we can walk by and see if we see any of the guys from the class or whatever on the tables. And well, there was Rock. He was at Stick Right 1.
Mm-hmm.
And there was that lady and her daughter.
Oh, nice. Nice. Did they ask for another autograph?
They were standing there playing craps. No, but they wanted me to play with them.
Okay.
Ed, come play with us. Please, please play with us. And I was trying not to because I really felt like I was done.
Yeah.
And they were down on Stick Right. And I don't throw well normally from Stick Right. And they said, "We'll put you in the hook down here. We'll squeeze you in between, the lady and her daughter."
Yep.
And I said, "Okay." So I bought in for $300.
Nice. Low buy-in, low risk.
And
You're
all I want, and the
done.
dice were down on the other end straight out.
Far away. All right.
Yeah. And so
It's good.
I'm just hoping to get out of the table, play a little while, and get out with my same $300. That's all I want.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
That's fair.
I'm just going to play. I played some Dark Side down on the other end.
Okay. Yeah.
And made a little money. So I was like, okay, I've got some money to play with if I want to. And so I went in very, very light.
What is light? Well, light with a 300. I mean, for a lot of people, you could easily dust off your entire 300 right there on just that initial bet.
Oh, I bought in with here's what I played the Iron Cross on myself. I did a $20 5, which is an automatic buy.
Okay, that's a Mississippi thing. Yep.
Yep, it's a Mississippi thing. And then I had a $18 6 and 8 and a $15 field. That was my exposure.
Okay. I mean, that's still given $300. It's still a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Percentage.
And so I started out, we were talking about sets earlier. I started out with a 3V.
Okay. Nice.
Threes on top, making a V. 3-1, 3-5 was what I was shooting.
Okay.
And I started hitting a few numbers.
The 3-1-3-5 is a nice set, by the way.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It's right in my wheelhouse
Yep.
as far as sets go.
What'd you start hitting?
I hit a 4.
Hmm.
I had a 4 when I had a field bet, so I placed the 4 with the winnings off of the field bet.
I like this.
Right.
Okay. Yep.
Right.
Now you're up on
and then I hit a 10 or something, and then I'm like, okay, let's see if I can hit some outside numbers, which would be the 4, 5, 9, and 10.
Yep.
So I changed my set to a 2V.
2V.
Yeah, instead of 3s on top, I had 2s on top.
Okay.
I was throwing a 2-1, 2-3, what I call the traditional 2V set.
Yep.
And I'm throwing from the hook straight down the table, and I've locked myself right up against the table.
Yeah, just locked in.
I'm not moving. I am locked in. I am not moving my feet. I'm not moving my hand, my left hand, or anything. I'm just locked in.
Yeah, shooting crap.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And I'm shooting straight down the pass line on that table.
Okay.
That's my runway.
Yep.
And I'm hitting the same spot over and over and over. And so I eventually, I was like, I've got my $300. I've got a small profit. I'm just going to keep pressing this stuff on up.
Okay.
I pressed that free 4. It was a freebie.
Yep. What'd you get that 4 up to?
$250.
Oh, wow.
From $15.
Wow. Okay.
And I hit it.
Nice.
Which paid $500.
Yep. The 4, by the way, pays 2 to 1. 4 and 10 pay 2 to 1.
Yeah, you got to pay them a $12 commission, but still.
Yeah.
It's 2 to 1.
There's a vig on that pretty much, but that's the easy way.
I hit the 5 and pressed it up enough to I hit it at 200. In Mississippi, that pays 300 for 10, or it pays $290. So then I hit it again after I was at 200.
Yep.
And I pressed it to 300.
This is a nice roll.
Yeah. And then I had my 6, which I started at $18.
Mm-hmm. Where'd this thing end up?
It went to 420.
Wow.
And I hit that, which paid me $490.
Ed, this is from meager beginnings.
Oh yeah, it was. There was over there was over
How many stick changes were there,
there
dude?
was 3 stick changes, so I threw for well over 60 minutes.
Oh my God. So stick change, that happens every how many minutes?
Every 20 minutes.
Yep,
Yeah, every 20 minutes the dealers rotate.
exactly.
So I was well over 60 minutes, which puts my shots probably in the 45 neighborhood, 45 tosses.
Epic. Absolutely epic. Wow. So you go from that day, you go from hitting the bonus.
We had an ATS,
Yep.
same day.
Wow. And then going on, and you were the one doing it, putting in the work
Yep.
with a 3 stick change roll. Wow, dude.
Yeah. Made some money on that Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm assuming you made at least, I mean, hopefully you made at least 5, 6 times your money, at least that. I mean, that's an epic percentage wise.
All right. So, like for the 300, I colored up exactly. It was funny. I had $2. I had 2 white chips, which is $2 in my rack, and everything else was, different colors. And I turned it all in, and it all equaled $2,000 even.
Oh, nice. Ed, that was not the private table. That was a completely different table.
It was totally packed, but it had a lot of a lot of the students were there, and they did not have any chips in my way or anything on the far end. I mean, they were all
In awe. I bet they were just in awe. Were they just
I don't know if they were in awe, but they were making their money back that they lost at different times because the students will go in and get a little bit,
excited? A little too excited.
yeah, they get a little carried away sometimes. And so, being the undisciplined person that I am, I colored up
Yep.
immediately, and that was the last hand I threw. I went back to the bar.
Yeah, man. Walking off.
I went back to the bar. Me and 220 inside, we went back to the bar and had us another nice bourbon.
It's like a walk off.
Yeah.
Yeah, walk off.
Yeah.
TD. You're just walking, touchdown, going right into the locker room, ready for your interviews, post game interviews.
We had a great time. It was a great trip. We got up Monday. I walked downstairs Monday morning and the table was empty. The same table, my favorite table, was empty. And you know what? I didn't buy in. I did not. I did not play.
Yeah, I mean, you can't assume that table's just going to pay out like it is.
I couldn't believe I didn't, but I didn't. I didn't play. And I went and got some breakfast, came back, and everybody was there. The table was packed with the students and coaches. And then there were about 6 people just standing in the aisle talking. And I just kind of stood around and hung out with them for a while and Gargle Oil and everybody. We're just all standing around talking. Finally, I left Biloxi about 9 o'clock or so that morning. Came back.
Nice.
They had some super epic runs on through the day on Monday. I mean, I know of at least 2 more ATS hits on Monday.
The ATS hit though, that was at IP, right?
No, there were 2 more hit. One at the Scarlet Pearl and one at, I think, the Beau Rivage got hit.
Oh wow, the Scarlet Pearl. That's a cool name for a casino. Yeah, the Scarlet.
Isn't that a cool name?
Yeah, like pirates should be hanging out at the Scarlet Pearl. You know?
Yeah, it's what you think. It's a beautiful. The inside is an absolutely gorgeous casino. It's really pretty. It's not your typical.
I want to go to the Scarlet Pearl.
Yeah, I mean and it's got the old traditional payouts on it on the bonus,
which are higher.
But it's a bouncy table.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't really like it. I play it sometimes, but it's one of the places I might stop in on my way. And I sent you a FaceTime picture of driving over the bridge.
Yeah. So Ed actually he FaceTimed me, and I saw him actually driving in to I don't know what highway you were on, but going right in there, man.
I-110.
Yep, I saw it. You heading into battle.
Yep, getting ready.
Sounds like a good weekend, man. I wish I was there.
Man, it was a good weekend, and the finish was strong. Not just for me, but for Heavy. Heavy had a strong finish. 220 inside. He had a really strong finish. He threw the ATS over at the Pearl.
Oh, 220 through the ATS. Nice job, 220.
Yeah. Excellent job. He's good. He's good with his sets, and he sniped that ATS right out.
Oh, nice. The craps were biting, man, huh?
They were biting.
It seemed like
They rolled over. They rolled
what
over
an
on us, man.
opening,
They were all floating to the top.
what an opening weekend, dude. You have that tied to your hood when you were driving back home.
I got craps on the hood. I got
Yeah.
craps on the trunk.
Put them in the freezer.
Put them in the freezer, baby.
Give some to your friends like venison. Yeah, I got too many.
I got too many craps. Come take some of
Yeah,
it.
have some. Yeah.
Opening day was awesome. Opening weekend was crazy. It was good.
We hope you enjoyed this podcast and will tell all of your fellow craps playing friends about it. Please follow Casino Tears on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. If you like the show, please rate it 5 stars and leave a review. The best and most fun way to contact us would be to call and leave a message on our official Casino Tears vent line, 229-07. You can also email us at no7@casinotears.com. New episodes drop weekly every Tuesday. And lastly, to help support this podcast, you can visit our Patreon at patreon.com/casinotears. On behalf of Roll to Win Craps from Alabama and 10 Ton is #1 from Las Vegas, thanks for listening.